can find a comfortable seat. As always, you might have a block, you might have some books, or you could grab a cushion and lift your hips up above your knees. And we're trying to get the straight, long back so that we can get really tall through the spine. So we're working our way here through the 8 limbs of yoga. And, you know, these were written about, I think, around 1700 years ago in the Yoga Sutras. So it's sort of a system that really helps us to kind of navigate how to live life with the least amount of suffering, and particularly in the days of living through a pandemic. For me anyway, I find it really helpful to think about these different limbs and to help me to kind of get through the day-to-day challenges of life. But I also really use these a lot in everyday life anyway, so I just find them useful. So it might help you, it might not, but it's just their thoughts, their things to think about and consider how we operate on a day-to-day basis. And so today we're still on the first limb. There are 5 parts of the first limb and we're on number 4. And these are ethical kind of suggestions on how to live life. So it's more like yoga philosophy that we're on at the moment. And the fourth part of this first limb, which is called, is called Brahmacharya. So Brahmacharya, it can be interpreted in a number of ways, as each of the yamas and niyamas can be. But we're going to focus on Brahmacharya as using your energy in the most, how should we put it? Using your energy wisely, let's say. All right, so we've got all this, we've got a limited amount of energy, and how do we use that energy so that it's most effective, so that we can live life the most smoothly, even if we're going through lots of challenges? So let's start off thinking, well, how can we use our energy unwisely at the moment? So there's lots of different ways we can use it unwisely, but one of the ways for me is that kind of anxiety or worry. So if we're and it's hard to let go of the anxiety for sure, right? But if we're constantly being anxious and worrying about things, right? It's always, we're trying to think about what's happening next, right? Or what if this, or, and it can really help, it just makes us all tense and worried and frustrated, and it makes it difficult to live on a day-to-day basis. And one of the ways that we can kind of reduce that anxiety is really limiting the amount of news that we consume, or maybe even the amount of Facebook or Instagram time. So it's lovely to connect and to connect with friends and things like that, but sometimes it just can get overwhelming to have all this information, and particularly the news, which is quite negative, and it's not always helpful just to have this onslaught. So maybe we just watch it or listen to it or look at it once a day. And obviously it's up to you, but I'm just giving you some ideas about how we can help to reduce the anxiety, or how we can direct our energy in some ways that is more productive. Also another thing is that, in our day-to-day life before the pandemic, most of us tended to have really hectic, busy lives, and we would really just rush around. We'd pack as many things into our days as possible. We'd try to check off all this long to-do list, and it would never get done because we'd always have another load of stuff to do. So, this is quite good, the pandemic, because it's helped us to slow down. Because sometimes that energy we were expending so much energy, but it was all going externally, and it wasn't necessarily, all productive or helpful. So we've got a chance to slow things down now, and to take things a little bit more easy. In some ways, I know it's challenging as well, but we can use that energy instead of trying to fill our days in a crazy way. We can try and slow down and take that energy, instead of focusing it externally, we can bring it more internally. So you know, it's possible that you want to start a new hobby, or lots of different hobbies, or learn something new, a new trade, whatever it might be. And some people are trying to really pack lots of stuff into their lives, even in quarantine. And that's fine. If that works for you, again, you're just noticing, do you need that pressure in your life right now? Right? Or are you enjoying it? Is it helping you to get through the time? So you want to not put too much pressure or too many expectations on yourself, and just allow yourself to be, right? To be angry, to be sad or grieve of the situation that we're in, to have a really crappy day sometimes, right? That's just, we're human, that's normal, we've got lots going on. So allowing that, right? And not necessarily saying, okay, well, I have to get these many things done in my day. If you have kids and they're doing like crazy homework, or they, you know, maybe we don't need such expectations on them or on us on how much we have to do and where they have to be. It's like allowing it just to soften those expectations a bit, and really going internally. So finding self-care, slowing down, allowing yourself to recharge, give yourself a break, right? And finding that inner peace and happiness, rather than having to look externally for that happiness. So the most challenging thing for me, for sure, is not being able to go out, not being able to go for walks, not spending time on the beach. But it's like, those are things that I've come to rely on to give me happiness. But perhaps if I don't need to rely on those things out there externally, can I find something, can I find that internal peace within me and that happiness without needing anything from outside? And it's a really good skill to have, so it takes some work. Anyway, so that's where we're working on Brahmacharya, right? So the using your energy wisely, something to think about. All right, so we're going to sit up super tall. We're going to relax through the shoulders. I'm going to show you what the breath is that we're going to do later, so you don't need to open your eyes to do it. It's a 3-part breath. So the first one is working with the belly, and we're going to do 3 sniffs in. So the first sniff is trying to expand through the belly. So and that widens there. The second sniff is expanding through the chest. And then the third sniff is just finding any extra space to fill up that lung. So you can just imagine that you're bringing in any extra air. So it's just, so there's 3 parts. So I'll show you again. Belly, chest, and I didn't take it, yeah. And then the third one, just to fill it up. And then exhale through the mouth, just letting it all go. It doesn't have to be a long breath. It's just letting it out. And then you start again. Okay? So that's where we're going. You can place your hands down on your thighs, again sitting up tall, and closing your eyes. And just pausing for a moment. Really checking in with yourself and just noticing if there's anything specific that you feel that you need, maybe from the yoga class or just today, to really nourish yourself or give yourself that support and kindness and space that you need. And then I want you to consider, anyway, dedicating this practice to somebody who is maybe struggling at the moment. And it could be yourself. So just bring to mind somebody who's having a tough time. You may or may not know them. It could be just somebody who, you know, or a group of people out there who you know is having a tough time. And you can dedicate this class and that energy to you. And it's not selfish to dedicate it to yourself if you need that. And then just taking a moment to notice the sounds around you, bringing yourself into the present moment. Letting go of any worries or things that you were thinking about relating to the past. or anything relating to the future. Just give yourself the gift of being in this moment. It doesn't matter what's going to happen later or tomorrow or next week. Giving yourself that gift of just being here right now in this moment. And just meeting this moment and each moment that follows with curiosity. Right? Investigate what's happening in the moment, kind of like with the mind of a child. So just being curious, what's happening? How does this feel? Where am I feeling this? Just paying attention. And then you can bring your attention to your breath. Before we start the three part inhales and one part exhale, we're just going to first notice the breath and notice the breath coming in the nostrils and going out. So we're not doing anything very much at the moment. We're just noticing the breath and bringing it in through the nose and out through the nose for the moment. Maybe slowing it down at this time. Really making the most of each and every breath by making it slow and making each breath count. And then we're going to start the three-part breath. So you can place one hand on the right hand on your belly if you want, left hand on your chest if you like. Keeping your eyes closed if it feels good. So remember, you're sniffing, inhale to bringing breath to the belly, inhale to the chest, one more inhale, sucking in more breath, and then exhale, just letting it out through the nose. You can do it at your own speed and just being kind to yourself. It might be challenging the first time you do it. So just being kind, trying it out. And if it really doesn't work, just slow inhales and exhales through the nose. Don't give up, keep going, even if it's challenging, just trying, just going for it. Overriding the brain that might say it's difficult and you can't do it. Just keep going, you've got this. It might feel uncomfortable, it might be difficult, just keep going. Just a few more breaths, you're nearly there, so just keep breathing, you've got this. And release, just letting the hands come down to the thighs, feeling how the contact with your hands is on your thighs. Just notice how your body feels, how your mind feels at this moment, without really any judgment, just observing, and pause. Excellent. So you can switch the cross of your legs if you like, or you can come into a kneeling pose, you can open your eyes. And we're just going to continue sitting up tall. We're bringing the arms up. And let me move back just a little bit so you can see me. We're going to move the arms up. And then you're going to bring the right hand in front of the left. So it doesn't actually matter which one, you're just noticing which one is coming in front. And you're just reaching up with the arms, lifting them up. Really notice how this feels. It might come on either side of your ears. If you've got really tight shoulders, or maybe you've got broad shoulders, you might need to bring the arms forward a little bit. You're just reaching them up and breathing. Long, slow inhales and exhales through the nose. And then you're going to bring the elbows down or the hands down and just having the elbows coming out. Long, slow breath. Inhale, reaching the arms up. 0, do this. Just reaching up, seeing how it feels. Excellent. And you're just going to turn over towards the right side. So you might be, I don't think I'm mirroring you this time. You're just twisting towards the right with your head. And then you can just let the arms go. So you're just twisting just a little further, allowing your back hand just to come down to help you to twist a little bit more. And inhale, reaching up. So this time it's the left that comes in front, reaching up. Again, make each breath count. Really breathing deeply, bringing the arms over the head. It feels a bit strange. Just breathing. Reaching up. So this may be difficult if you've got the shoulder working, but just noticing and coming into any alternative if it doesn't work for you. Just reaching up, and then you're going to twist over to the left side with your head, and then you can drop your arms and find a little bit more of a twist here if that feels good. Coming back to center. You can interlace fingers behind your head. And then you can just bring the elbows down towards the ground, just finding some length through your neck. And you're not yanking your head down, you're just allowing the weight of your hands just to stretch your neck out. And then inhale, bringing your head up. You're going to look up, but at the same time, you're just going to give yourself a little massage on the neck. So you can you're using your energy wisely, finding ways to be kind to yourself, to help yourself out when you need a little tension release. And just bringing your head up. We're going to release through the block, or whatever you're sitting on. And we're going to come with the feet down. The hands can be behind you, but you're trying to get length through your back. And you're going to cross your right ankle over the left. So you want to make sure that your toes are active and they're coming in towards the knee. And the knee is pressing out away from you. So just feeling how that feels. Now, it might be more challenging if you've got hip issues or if they're tight. So it might be hard to push it out. And you might find if you've got tightness, you might bring your foot a little bit further away from you. Or if you've got quite a lot of flexibility in your hips, you might bring that foot in closer towards you. So again, just pressing out with that knee. Toes are active to protect the knee. And then you might turn the fingertips in towards you and lifting up through the hips, finding a one-legged reverse tabletop and slowly coming back down. Again, just pressing that hip out. And maybe you'll find a little bit of movement from side to side here with the hips. Just loosening them up a little bit. And then you're going to bring that front foot forward. So the foot that was down, you're just bringing it down parallel to the front of your mat. And then the other ankle is still over that knee. Now, for many of us, we might have really tight hips and it might be really hard to get that knee down. So you might have to put pillows or something between the knee and the ankle. The idea is that you're trying to bring that knee down over the other ankle. Now, if this is really, really hard and even it's hard to get that foot, the ankle over the knee, you can just bring your foot slightly forward, and that should help you to get a little bit more space in your hips. So listening to your body and seeing what you need. But wherever you are, if you've got the space, you can sit up super tall if this is doable for you, given that it's challenging with the hips. You're just finding length through the chest and the back of the spine. And if you have more ability to find flexibility here, you can always come forward. But remember, we're finding that internal peace. We're trying to work on that today. So not feeling bad if this is really hard for you. Maybe your hips are challenging for you, maybe something else is a lot easier, and then the opposite for somebody else. So let's not compare or wish that we were somewhere else, just working with where you're at, allowing yourself to be with whatever is going on with you. Taking another breath or two where you are, and then slowly finding your way up. We're going to switch sides. So this time, it should be your left ankle over or whatever, just the opposite of what was before. The toes are coming in towards you. You're pressing the knee away from you. Again, you can move the other foot any amount depending on how easy this is for you or how flexible you are in your hips. And then the fingertips can be pointing forward, and you can lift up through the hips, trying to keep the hips even, trying to keep that knee, the knees also about the same height as you lift up, if that's possible. It might be challenging. So again, finding that kindness, that acceptance of wherever you are at, being happy with whatever is going on. I know it's hard. Finding some movement in the hips. Or finding some acceptance of wherever we are. That's what helps. So we're just moving from side to side. Finding a little bit of flexibility there. And then the left leg comes forward to the front of the mat. It should be parallel to the front of the mat. The ankle of the other foot comes up. And then you're just playing with it. Or maybe that was, I think I'm doing the same as I was doing before, so switching sides, however that might be. So just noticing what it is that you need and opening up. So again, just getting tall wherever you are. And again, it's okay. You can bring that foot forward a little bit if you need to. You can build up this hip. You're just trying to move it down ever so slowly, just being kind with yourself. And then whatever happens, if you can move forward, that's fine. If not, that's okay too. Just breathing and accepting wherever you're at. Our bodies are amazing. Even if they're really struggling in a particular pose, what they can do for us is incredible. So just being accepting and grateful for that, if you can. And then slowly finding your way up. Excellent. Giving yourself a nice squeeze here, getting length through the back, maybe lifting up through those feet at the same time. Finding a little bit of a balance. And then we're going to try and stand all the way up. Excellent. Hands going to come to heart center. So we're going to do a variation of some sun salutations, and then we'll do some add-ons to those sun salutations then. So we're just going to find your feet grounding down into the mat. So what that means is they're about hips width distance apart. The big toes are coming in slightly so that the outside edges of your feet are parallel. And the palms facing forward. And just really feeling that you're pressing down with all edges of your feet, maybe lifting the toes, spreading the toes, and placing them down. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up so they touch above you, getting really tall. Maybe we'll just do a little back bend here, just a really small one, just leaning back. Inhale, coming back up. And then exhale, our arms are going to come out to the side of this swan diving, getting a half lift here, like a flat back. You can have your knees bent any amount. And exhale, folding down, allowing the head and the neck just to be free here. There's no weight anymore. There's nothing you need to do. You can shake your head no. You can nod your head yes. You can grab behind the shins and just lifting up your sits bones to the ceiling, but you can still have your knees bent any amount. You're trying to get your chest towards your thigh. Pausing here for a moment. Deep inhale and deep exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, so you're just getting a flat back here. And then the hands are going to come down. Right leg is going to come back behind you, really pressing that heel away from you. And pausing here, taking a deep breath, feeling that length in the back leg, feeling the chest opening here. And the knee then comes down. And we're going to reach the arms out and all the way up here. We're going to just take a breath, maybe moving the arms back behind the ears if it gets there. Otherwise, just wherever they are. And we're just going to drop the hands like in a prayer pose behind the neck, opening through the chest. Deep breath here. Inhale, coming up. Hands are going to come down either side of that front foot. Calming into a plank. You can always have your knees coming down here. If you need to, that's no problem. Heels pressing back away from you. Shoulders stacked above the wrists and the fingers spread deeply or widely. Taking a couple of breaths here, just noticing how this feels. And then the knees are going to come down. Chest comes down. And the chin comes down. So the bottom is up in the air. Pausing here for a moment if it feels okay. And inhale, scooting forward. And opening through the chest. Pressing feet down into the ground. The elbows squeezing. Shoulders away from the ears. Finding your pose. This is hard to stay here for a little while. So taking a couple of breaths, using that energy wisely to help keep the mind focused. Tucking the toes here and pressing back, finding your downward facing dog. You can start with bent knees any amount, getting length through your back, through the arms. You can move and bend one knee and straighten the other and work with the other side. And then work to find a little bit of stillness here. Your heels can be lifted or they can be placed down. But you're trying to, the length through the back is the key that you're trying to work with. One more breath here, really noticing the pose. And then you're going to bring that right leg in between your hands. Again, really feel that back heel pressing away. Opening through the chest here. And then the back knee can come down. Inhale, reaching all the way up. Hands touch. Maybe bringing the hands behind, the arms behind the ears. And then you can bend through the elbows, opening through the chest, pressing the hips forward, taking a breath. Arms come back up and down on either side of that front foot, stepping the left to meet the right, folding forward here, allowing the head just to hang, and taking a breath. Notice how it feels to be upside down, and breathe. Arms going to come either side of you, reaching in both directions. Knees can bend, reaching all the way up. A little back bend here again. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach. Coming up and folding here. Flat back. Coming all the way down. Again, you can move your head, allowing yourself to kind of make a no and a yes nod. And just allow it just to hang. Inhale, we're going to come into a flat back as we look forward. Exhale, folding here. Left leg is in a step back. Really pressing the heel away from you, getting length through that leg. Opening through the chest here. Knee comes down. Inhale, reaching up. And we can bring the arms back behind the ears or that direction if it feels okay. And then dropping the hands behind the neck, opening through the chest. Inhale, arms up, hands down, coming into plank. Really lifting through the hips, trying to find your flat, fairly flat, but without the hips dropping. Fingers spreading, shoulders over the wrists. You can always drop those knees. Taking another breath here. And then knees, chest and chin, elbows squeeze. And inhale, opening up here. Squeezing the elbows in, pressing the feet down. We're doing everything intentionally here. And slowing things down. Really observing, how does that feel? Tuning in with your body, with your mind, with your emotions. Another breath here. And then we're going to tuck the toes and find ourselves coming back, downward facing dog. Or any alternative if this isn't working for you. Couple of deep breaths. Finding some stillness here too. And then that left foot coming forward, helping it if it needs it. Pressing the right heel back. Finding openness through the chest too. Knee comes down. Really slowly, arms coming up with the inhale. Hands together. Maybe moving the arms back if it feels okay. So getting a little back bend here. And then you're dropping the hands behind the neck. Opening the chest here. Excellent. Inhale, coming up. Hands either side of the front foot. Right foot comes to meet the left. Folding forward. Inhale, arms on each side. Coming all the way up. Little back bend here. And exhale. Hands to heart center. The palms can come facing away from you alongside your body. Mountain pose, just close your eyes for a moment. Notice how that movement felt. Opening the eyes, bringing the hands to heart center. The feet are going to come together here. If it feels good to do chair pose with feet together, you can always have them apart as long as the knees and the feet stay the same distance apart. But for most of us, the feet and the knees will be together. Inhale, we're reaching up, and then we're going to sit down into chair pose here. Breathing here. So we're bringing the weight to the back of the feet. So we're lifting the toes, spreading the toes, finding length through the back. Hands can come together here and down to the chest. Then we're going to reach forward a little bit and we're twisting over to the right side. So the left arm, elbow is hooking over and we're trying to stack the shoulders. Trying to keep the knees even also. And then if it feels doable, you're going to try and lift through that back foot and put it back behind you. Getting into a twist. It may or may not work for you. You might have to come through center. Excellent. You might lift arms up and down if that feels okay. And then coming up into a twist here. Maybe looking over your right fingertips. Calming through center, arms up. And opening the other way, we're now in warrior two. Lengthening through that front leg. Reaching forward. And finding your triangle. You might take the top arm, wrap it around, and open up through the chest. So we're just bringing that shoulder up and looking up. Any variation that you might like here, you can lift the right arm up, parallel to the ground. And inhale, calming back up, hands to the hips. And you're just going to step that foot forward, calming back into chair. Sitting down, toes lift. Weight in the back of the heels, or the back of the feet. Hands together, bringing them down to heart center. You're twisting here, so again, trying to keep the knees even, not having them stick out. Pressing the hands in to find that openness through the chest. And then you might lift that right leg and step it back. Just being kind, it's really hard and challenging. If you have to come through center, go through center. You can always have the knee down. Arms opening. And then you can lift up and look over towards your left fingers. Excellent. Calming through center. And we're going the other way, warrior two. Lengthening through that front leg. Reaching forward. And finding your triangle on this side. We're trying to get into one plane. So we don't want the butt sticking out. We're trying to have everything in the same line. So coming up any amount is really fine. That back, the top hand can come to the back or grab onto the thigh. And maybe you can lift the left arm parallel to the ground. Breathing here. It's challenging. There's not much time left to do quite so challenging stuff. So just breathe. Inhale. Calming back up. Hands coming up again as you bring the feet together. Last time sitting down into chair pose. We're going to come up onto the tiptoes, lifting the heels. Maybe leaning forward so that the chest is parallel with the ground. Inhale, coming up. Reaching up, getting length through the legs, still on tiptoes. Heels come down, hands together. Exhaling. Hands to heart center. Closing the eyes. Noticing your heartbeat here. Slowing it down. Slowing down your breath. Deep inhales, deep exhales. And maybe we can inhale together through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, nose. Exhaling mouth. One more time. Inhale, nose. Exhaling mouth. Excellent. Opening the eyes here. We're going to come down onto the mat. So we're going to lie down. We'll do a little bit of core work here. So you just, first of all, just slowly rolling down. Even this is working the core. So you can roll down one vertebrae at a time. You might get a little stuck somewhere, and that's okay. You're just calming on down. And just feeling that support of the ground and how good that feels just to be laying on the ground. Closing the eyes for a moment, just noticing that support. You're going to open the eyes now, and you're going to take your right leg up to the side. And we're going to just do some little circles with it. So you can start small in one direction, and then you can get larger. Just really finding some movement in the hip. And then you can go the other way if you like, and you can start large and then go smaller if you like. Excellent. Lifting up through the other leg, so it's hovering here. You can have your palms face up, lifted, and you can lift your head and your shoulders up. So just feeling that breath here, and where you're feeling it in your belly and maybe in other parts of your body. And release. Knees coming in, rolling from side to side. Other side, so the right leg is lengthened this time. Left leg just coming up. And you might find it, you can't get it quite so high up, that's fine, or you might need to bend the knee, and that's quite fine too. So just listening to your body always. And then you can move this leg that's lifted in circles. You start small, and you can get larger. And then you can go the other direction, maybe starting larger, and ended up smaller little circles. Excellent. Lifting up through the right leg, lifting up through your chest, your shoulders, your arms. Feeling this. Being in the moment, pleasant or unpleasant, just be here and experience it. You've got this. It's hard though. And bringing the knees in, rolling from side to side. Excellent. You're going to bring your feet down to the ground, about hips width distance apart, fingers grazing the backs of the heels. And we're just going to go with our breath, inhaling, arms and hips come up at the same time. And exhaling, we're slowly coming down. So you can do it really slowly with your breath. Just working. Deep inhale up, deep exhale down. One more. Now you've got a choice here. If you want to go for a full wheel where you come all the way up, you can do that. Alternatively, and I'll show you that too, you can come onto your belly You can grab your ankles and you can press back. So it's like a wheel, it's just the other direction. So your choices are those, or anything else that you would like to do. If you're doing a full wheel from your back, you're going to bring the elbows in towards each other. Come up maybe first on your head, again squeezing elbows towards each other, and then pressing up and back to the hips, back towards the head. Either choice, finding your back bend, lifting, opening the chest, breathing. Excellent. And everybody coming down. If you are on your chest, forehead coming on your hands. If you're on your back, just lying down, relaxing here for a moment, pausing between the poses. So we're going to then bend the knees, coming into a happy baby here. So I like to bring the arms on the inside of the legs and then the fingers on the outside of the foot. It's a bit challenging to explain. But basically the knees are pulling down either side of your body towards the floor. You can find a little bit of movement here if you like, from side to side. If you like, you can also lengthen through one leg or the other leg or both legs, playing here. And then I want you to use your energy wisely. So if there's something that your body feels that it needs before the end of class, it could be a shoulder stand, it could be an inversion, another kind of inversion, anything that you feel that you would really like to do, this is your opportunity. If you don't have that urge, you can always bring your feet together and just come into a Baddha Konasana with a butterfly pose with your knees opening here and just relax. So you've got a few moments to make a choice of how you want to use your energy in this class. Wherever you're at, take a few more breaths, whatever you're doing. And then you can lengthen your legs out. And there's no hurry here, so just going at your speed. But you can, when you're ready, you can just bring your legs out, you can bring your arms out, and just completely let go and relax here. So finding your Shavasana, your corpse pose. So part of what yoga tries to teach us is that these moments of relaxation and of doing nothing are extremely important. So instead of beating ourselves up as we often do in our culture for not doing anything or for pausing or taking a break, we should embrace it and enjoy it and like it and give it to ourselves as a gift all the time, or often, let's say. We want to have both the challenge and the effort and also the ease and relaxation. So pressing your shoulders into the ground, the arms just letting go, the legs just letting go. Just scan your body and just make sure that every part of you is feeling relaxed. If there's anywhere else that is tense, take a deep inhale and imagine that breath going to that part of the body, delivering fresh oxygen. And as you exhale, just imagine that stress, that tension, just is lifting out of your body and leaving. And just that it mingles with the air outside and it just drifts off. finding a little bit of movement in your body, wriggling your fingers, maybe wriggling your toes, and maybe finding a little bit of movement in your wrists and ankles as you circle them. And you can move your head from the left to the right if that feels good, just finding a little bit of release through the neck. And then you can reach up overhead with your arms, stretching legs and arms in different directions. And bending the knees, giving yourself a really lovely, unconditional hug. Squeezing here, right? Life can be really challenging at the best of times, right? And we're all struggling a little bit here. So really giving yourself that attention, that kindness that you deserve and you need, that strength. And rolling onto your right side, coming into a fetal position, just maybe bringing your right arm under your head as a pillow. And notice the ground beneath you there to support you. And then gently pressing yourself up into a seated pose. You can keep your eyes closed if that feels good. You can always sit on something, a cushion or something to help get that length through the spine. And relaxing the hands down onto the thighs. We're going to end with some alternate nostril breathing. So we're going to use the right hand and the right thumb to close off the right nostril and the ring finger to close off the left nostril. So what will happen is we'll inhale through the left for a count of 4. We'll hold for 4. Exhale through the right for 4. Inhale through the same nostril for 4. And we'll close both nostrils off again and hold for 4 and exhale left for 4. So I will count you through it. If it's challenging or you get lost, you can always create your own. So we're going to inhale through both nostrils together to begin with. Hand can stay on your thigh. It's fine for the moment. Inhaling, exhaling fully through both nostrils. Inhale deeply through both nostrils and exhaling through both, bringing the hand up to the face, blocking off the right nostril. Inhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Releasing the hand to the left. And pause. Just notice how you feel. How your body feels physically. How your emotional body feels. And also your mind. It may feel different from the beginning of class. It may feel the same. Just noticing. also notice whether you've been able to access a space of calmness, of peace within yourself that you can access anytime. Just notice if it's there, or if you found it. It is there, I promise. And then bringing the hands to the heart center. We're going to inhale, reaching the arms out to both sides and all the way up, touching at the top. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching out to both sides and all the way up, feeling that energy that you're pulling in as you bring your hands down to heart center. How will we use that energy in a kind, loving way? Inhale, reaching out and all the way up again, collecting energy and bringing it back down to heart center. Pausing here, finding gratitude towards yourself for taking the time for your mind and your body this morning. And also perhaps bringing your thoughts back to the person that you've dedicated this practice to, or the people. And again, it could be yourself, it's not self. So sending positive thoughts and energy towards that person or people. And then bringing the hands up to the third eye center. Thank you so much for your energy today. It's always wonderful having all of you join the class. Thank you for being here, and namaste. Thank you.